Yeah, you sound good.
Thanks.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Church of Chug. Thank you guys for joining us on this lovely Sunday. Some of us are a little hungover, so excuse the the party girl voice. So, let's get started. Let's do this chug first before we get into whatever we're gonna get into. Let me go from this way. What do we got, Drunken Monkey?
So I'm going with the Other Half. There's my camera. Other Half Poetry Snaps.
Nice.
It's a rice lager from Other Half DC.
Rice lager. Ice cream.
I am chugging today from Vendetta Brewing Company, and it's the Hoppy Brewha beer. It's the collab that she did. It's called Perfectly Balanced, and it's a Saison, 6%.
Cool.
Nice. And a beer lover.
Beer lover here. I'm gonna go with an old school type of beer, a lager. This is Berlinetta. We can't really see it because I got so much sunlight. Berlinetta is a Gold Coast lager, and it's coming in at 6.3% in honor of the dads with a chug lager.
And I am going to be actually picked this up at the Fist yesterday. This one's called Feel No Way. It's a Pilsner from Hudson Valley, coming in at 5%, nice and light. Try to get back into it. All right, guys.
Oh man, yeah, let's pack this on top of the hangover we have. So,
Yeah.
such a like, come on.
Cheers. By the way, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. This one's for you guys.
Absolutely.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
It helps. It helps.
Yeah. It helps what? It helps my liver deteriorate.
Oh, a little bit.
Help kick it when it's down.
Not like get rid of the shakes with a beer.
Man. So as you guys may have heard or not, we were, most of us, well, except for Sam, obviously, since he's on the West Coast, but we were all at Green City yesterday. Green City Beer Fest is held by Other Half. What do you guys think? 70s plus brewery, I believe.
I believe it was not that much.
Yeah. I counted at one point, guys. I think Instagram folks, maybe about 20 plus that we personally in it. That crowd was pretty big. I was surprised how many Instagram folks I saw.
Yeah.
We do other events and stuff, and you see the ones that are out here, but people traveled for this one.
Yeah. There's some
Particularly for this
folks, some Florida folks.
And it's funny that they do travel. And I kind of think, for me personally, because we've, like we were just talking about recently, we've all had really, really great tasting beers in the past. Just by way of getting them or by trading. I kind of found that this was not the most stellar event, in my opinion, especially for the price that we paid. There were some really okay beers, and there were some really beers that were like, I'll never buy this. So I don't know what the thoughts on for you others that were there. I didn't really find it to be one of the better bits. I think the pastry stout, that was better. Pastry Town.
Pastry Town. Yeah, I basically when we were like walking around, if it was a brewery that I had been to or I've had beers from that, through trade, like you were saying, I looked at their menu. Most of them were beers on their menu that I've had already, like in cans or at their breweries or whatever. So I just stayed away from them. Like a lot of them I just didn't go to. I went to breweries that I've never been to just so I can try their beer. That's where I focused a lot of my energy, was just going to those breweries. And their beer is solid. I think it was a decent representation of their beer. I'd never had anything else to compare it to from their brewery. But there was a decent representation from them. I think the Other Half beers were solid, the ones that they had. I went in there and had like 2 or 3 rounds of their beers, but I'm a huge fan of Other Half. So,
yeah.
But for the other breweries, it was a lot of the same. It was a lot of, I guess, what they're known for. that they were just repetitively kind of pushing out. So
Were the beers like varied as far as styles go?
yes.
Was it a varied
Yes.
selection?
It wasn't as varied as like when we did the Brewers Guild. There were beers in there. There were beer styles in there that I had never even heard of. But this was not like that. This was, there were IPAs, there were lagers, there were pilsners, there were stouts. I think they had we saw one porter. There were quite a few sours, but then that was about it. You didn't see anything that was really kind of, off the rails, like a ESB or, a Kentucky Common or like those things that we saw at the Brewers Guild. So it was a little more well-known normal beers, I guess you'd say.
Well, I know this was supposed
Popular
to be
styles.
like a strictly IPA event, and of course they're going to bring some of the other stuff that they wanted to showcase. But yeah, I mean, there's only a handful of different styles of beers that they were presenting. But let's face it, if it's going to be all strictly IPA, and I kind of appreciate the fact that they did bring some other than IPAs. We can only do so many IPAs before they all start to be like, okay, this is not that much different than what they have. This is a little bit different than what they have. They really is. It's just a short amount of differences between them. So I kind of like the fact that they did bring them though.
Yeah,
Something different other than just a regular IPA. But
I
like,
definitely try to mix it up.
yeah, but look, as Rich was saying, like, like out of all the breweries that I saw, I mean, everybody made a beeline to Troon. Everybody made a beeline to Troon.
all that.
Because that's the hard, like, I think almost all of us can easily say that it's really difficult to get your hands on Troon, and it was good.
It was not great.
Exactly. It's not much different than anybody else. And I don't know if it's marketing or the fact that they make their beer a scarcity where it's like, okay, I can't get my hands on it and I need to get my hands on it just so I can say I did.
Yeah.
It was an okay. It was probably one of the better beers. It was funny that Monkish had the longest I mean, there must have been about 40 to 50 people online waiting for
at any given time.
But when you know, yeah, exactly. But when you notice that the other half tap room was kind of barren, and I'm telling you, if I would have put other half in one cup and Monkish in another and put it in front of somebody, they're not going to tell the difference, man. They're both solid breweries. I think it's just the allure of saying, I've had Monkish, I've tried Monkish, which all of us now know was a big deal at one point, but not so much anymore.
And I'm wondering is because it's a East Coast event, so all the breweries that are from the West, not everybody trades, so not everybody gets it, So when you see out here,
yeah,
like,
right. But I'm thinking to myself like that person that was like, oh my God, Monkish, they're here. I'm going to get online, and they have it like, that's it. This is it.
Yeah.
This is. I mean, like they have it in the cans on the other half, it's the same stuff. So it's like I'm thinking like a lot of people must have been just like really disappointed that never had it and that finally had it, and we're like, this is Monkish. This is okay. It's tasty. The other one was Root and Branch. Nobody was online.
Nobody. Yeah. So that's exactly what I was about to say. With that being said, because we all said the same exact thing, like Root and Branch, there was nobody in line at Root and Branch. And we were like, they're fucking super. They're really solid.
Yeah.
Do you think that this event is more geared towards I don't know, like more I want to say like IG type of people who are after like kind of whales and things that they can't get, or do you think this is more of that there are really a lot of craft beer people there? Because like I said, to me, the crowd that was at the Brewers Guild were like craft beer people who wanted to taste different styles and stuff like that. Now, granted, this is only my second beer fest that I've ever been to, so it's not like I have this huge experience of being at different places. But I personally saw a huge difference between these two. That this one, the beers that we know that we've had that were like Root and Branch is a solid brewery, there was nobody in line, like they never even heard of it. But everybody was in line at Monkish, which, like you said, is they have a solid IPA, but it's no different than a good Other Half IPA or a Trillium IPA, or they make just as good IPAs. If you put them all in a row, you're not going to say that one is necessarily worse than the other.
Right.
They're all solid. So, do you think that this event had more? Ricky said that he saw a lot of IG people there. Like, do you think that this is more of that type of crowd, that they're not really pure craft beer people, that they're more like, not to pull away from them?
I think that this event's more of a hangout, more like of a just come have beer and
Like to Rick's point, I think it's an IG hangout for me personally. Everybody else that was like obviously there's a lot of IG people that we don't even know, but they don't I'm sure there must have been more people from Instagram that we've never talked to, we've never seen, we've never heard of. But if you're going to spend that kind of money and people knew what they were spending, they're there to taste beer. That's it. There's no question to it. They're looking to spend money and taste as many beers as possible, while the rest of us who have been subjected to a lot of great tasting beers in the IG community, I mean, I'm there to try beer, but I'm also there to commiserate and meet some of the people that I've been talking to. And not so much like, it wasn't so much about me drinking the beer. This might be trying some new beer, but I was more interested this time in meeting some people that I have not met, that I follow and that I've spoken to, but not physically met. So that for me on that end, that's the IG part for me. Everybody else that was there, they were just looking to taste beer all damn day long. And I got to tell you, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best event that I've been to. I mean, it was a little bit lackluster in my opinion. But I'm hoping that everybody else who wasn't like an IG person got all the great tasting beers that they thought they were drinking.
Yeah.
So Sam, what would you compare this to on for a festival out there with like something this size?
Well, I should not turn my camera off next time.
You were just cued in by.
I was thinking of that because honestly, I felt that Green City in my mind was going to be more show out what you've been doing with your hazies and your Nipas. And I thought it like with the broccoli and all of that, like I was really expecting it to be like from that point of view, like where people are going to bring those New England IPAs or even regular West Coast, whatever they're doing, to show out the new stuff or show out their best, not like bring staples, right? So hearing from what you guys are saying, that sounds like a high price to get what you got, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it was.
And because Untapped was cheaper than that out here, and it was huge, and there was a lot of different breweries there, a lot of stuff you could try, new stuff. But it seems to me like, I don't know if it's just in general because of COVID or whatever, but like when breweries sign up for beer festivals, there's like kind of two mindsets. One is make some money and get rid of beer and just let people get shit-faced.
That's a great point.
And then the other mindset is something like the Brewers Guild, where I'm meeting up with my brewer friends and we're all going to show out and we're going to bring our best shit and have a real beer fest.
Right. That's where my disappointment came in.
Yeah.
Right.
And I didn't expect, I wouldn't
a lot of
expect
special
that out of
beers
Green City.
at Brewers Guild.
I mean, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's what I see the difference is. And out here, of course, because it's San Diego and the weather and the tourists and it's like craft beer world out here, we have a lot of those pay and get shit fests.
Right. Okay. I mean, and this to me was that pay big money and drink as much as you can. You're totally shit faced. But to what Sam was saying about like bringing out like their solid stuff or bringing something new. That's what I got out of like Pastry Town. They were showing things to all the VIPs that they were not giving to everybody else, and it was their newer stuff. There was nothing new that I saw as far as like the beers that we were getting at this event. There might have been a couple of different breweries that there's a new one out in Maryland that Rich didn't know about. So,
Burnish.
Which one was it?
Burnish.
Right. Never heard of it. I was excited. I'm like, oh, great, a new brewery. Finally, let's try something different.
Yeah, I did see a few new breweries that I didn't know about too. More that I had never really heard.
But for the price that we paid for that VIP ticket, you should fucking definitely put some stuff out that's brand new to your brewery that no one else is getting, and display for the people who are paying that higher price to get something different. That was my expectation based off of Pastry Town, because I had gotten some really different things from Pastry Town. That was a good one. I'll go back to Pastry Town. I'll go back to Green City again.
I think out here too, the beer festival is literally, if you get VIP, you're paying extra money to get in earlier, to start drinking earlier, right? That's literally it. Like go get shit faced before everyone else shows up and drinks up everything. And 2, maybe a tiny bit of swag, like, I don't know, a glass or a bag or something like that. That's it though. Like, it seems like, huh?
There was nothing for us.
All we got was
our
buttons
early
and
post
stickers.
Yeah.
Buttons and stickers, that's it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
And
wondering.
it was the same stuff that's probably available to the other people once they get into it.
Right.
Yeah.
There until it's gone.
Because I guarantee some of these people don't want to come back with shit. They're like, just get rid of it. Just let them have it. But when we were at Pastry Town, hats, gloves, socks, koozies, sunglasses. I actually even seen the baby onesies. They were just there for free. And I'm like, this is what we're getting. This is what $150 gets us. A bunch of stickers, koozies, and a fucking button. I don't want a button. What am I, 12? I'm going to put a fucking on my shirt now. So it was disappointing. I'm sorry. This was not a good event, in my opinion.
I wonder if it had anything to do as well with the fact that it was a 2-day event. We went the second day, you know, so I don't know. I don't really know what went down the first day. I know just from hearing some people saying that, you know, it was a later event from, I think, 6 to 10.
But it wasn't full.
I don't know. Like,
No,
I don't know.
I've heard from other people that went. From some of the other people that I've spoken to that was on there at Friday, it was like a quarter of what we saw on Saturday. Wasn't very busy. So it's not like they took all the swag. It's not like all of it was depleted or anything.
Yeah, that part for sure, yeah.
So, you know, and it kills me that like some of these brewers didn't have any beer left from Friday, but like I guess those were the beers that were like the special beers, and everybody drank that up, and now we're stuck with like the residual, like, you know, rotational beers that, you know, that you'll get at a store or something. Again, it was just not like the best. You know, I mean, I know I won't do it.
I wonder if we should have done the Friday session.
Now, I have a question for you guys as far as like attitudes and how things are presented. Do you feel that brewers were cooler and more apt to talk about their beers and like not so cliquey at the Brewers Guild, or do you feel they were that way at Green City? Because to me, that makes a big difference. Like, if I'm going to a beer festival and you're showing up with a beer, I should be able to ask the person who's pouring about the beer, like, you know, anything. And a lot of the festivals that I've been to, like, they have no clue. I can't ask them anything because they're just like, they're pouring. Literally, that's it. So did you see a difference in between going to the Brewers Guild where they were like more apt to interact with you? Because from what I'm hearing on this one, there were a lot of like cliquey parties and things that people weren't invited to, and brewers trying to hang out places where the majority of people weren't. So I don't know. What did you guys think about that?
I think that's a good point. I mean, I think all the brewers weren't there at the Brewers Guild. They had representation there. And I think it was kind of the same thing here for the most part. The brewers were there, but they weren't like at the booths like some of them were. You know, we all love Fifth Hammer, and, you know, Kuzma and Mary, they showed up a little bit later. We went by there, talked with them, popped a bottle with us, and, you know, chatted with us and everything. Like, they were super cool. Some of the people from Other Half were cool. Those are the only ones I know. Like, I don't know anybody else. So I think 528 Girls mentioning that Dream State, the guys from Dream State were there, and they were chatting with people.
Yeah, they were. Yes.
So there was a handful, but for 70 breweries, I don't think there was the same representation that is usually there.
No, I kind of think that the Brewers Guild was a much better event because the people who were pouring knew their beer, they knew what they were talking about, they knew what was in the beer and stuff, and it was more of a personable type of event where I could sit and talk to the person. This didn't seem like, they wanted to talk. They're like, here you go, here's your beer.
It was also a lot smaller too, though. So
what's that?
Definitely, it was also a lot smaller. So definitely a smaller crowd.
This one, the
Brewers Guild.
Brewers Guild.
It was a smaller crowd, but I will definitely go to another Brewers Guild.
You get time to hang out a little more when there's a smaller crowd.
Yeah.
What was the price difference in your tickets?
I believe the Brewers Guild was, I think, what, $90? maybe even less, $70 maybe, I think. Where this was $150 for what? I got a glass that big and maybe a couple of stickers. I had a wrestler take my hat off and throw it in the fucking in the audience when he wore my beer, by the way. I'll tell you that he wore my beer. He took my hat, threw it, and I looked at him like, "Fuck you!" And I lofted my beer all down his back. Yeah, no, listen.
Wow.
If I get annoyed, I have zero patience for shit. You do something stupid, I'm gonna give it back. That's it. So yeah, he wore my beer. And, he turned around for a second, and some guy in a green jersey just said, "No, don't bother him. He took my hat, dude. I'm not gonna bother. He bothered me. Fucking, So, look, the Bruins Guild, I think, is a different animal.
In the ring with them.
What's up? You know what? I swear to God, I walked up the aisle, and the same guy with the green jersey stopped me. He goes, "I got to protect my guys, man. Get the fuck out." I'm like, "Well, you have nobody. There's no one here to stop me. Why? Like, anybody can walk up. So why would you just leave it open like that?" He's like, "No, go away, go away." I'm like, "All right, no problem." But I got to that point where I'm like, I want to get in the ring too. I might get my ass handed to me, but I want to go out like freaking like snooker and just done, finished. I was pissed off, man. I was pissed off most of the day, to be honest with you, Pat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to my two boys here. I was a shit mood all day, so I apologize to you guys.
No, that's all good, brother. But you know what, man? At the end of the day, I think we drank beer. We had fucking fun. I mean, I had fun. I met so many fucking people.
Yeah.
To the point where I met three or four people came up to me, said, "Yo, what's up, Ricky, with a good beer?" Fucking no idea.
Isn't that awesome though?
No idea.
When they recognize you, it's like, really?
I was like,
you know me?
Obviously, I was like nice and handed out some stickers and this and that, but I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I'm bad with names, first of all, just so, like, in case anybody does watch this, like, appreciate it, bro. But
all right, Ricky, don't let your head get too big there, brother.
I'm horrible with names and faces, dude.
Yeah, but there were a couple of like at Finback. I mean, I actually got what's her name? I didn't. Oh, the multi maiden who I swore I would never follow. I swear I didn't even know it was her. It's just talking to me, and I'm like, "You're the multi maiden, really?" And I had followed her years ago. Like, and I never got it back. So you know me. If I showed support, you showed support. Show them the hell with it. Why not? But I got. She followed me. I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, fine, I'll follow you." But then I see these other two people. I'm like, I know you too, but like, it was just nice to be able to commiserate with people that you think are like, not, like in my mind, I see that they're these people, and like, oh, what? I'm not good enough for you to follow me. But like now that I talk to you, like, wow, you're actually really cool. You're not. You know what I thought of? I feel bad even making like the assumption that you're like not a cool person. So like, I feel stupid now. Now I have to start following a bunch of people. I got to start following a bunch of people that I didn't think were cool, but based on my assumptions. So,
and there was some of those Instagram folks that had those, they have those big accounts with like, thousands and thousands of followers and stuff. And
yeah, but you know what? The thing is, I didn't understand that they actually, when they get to that point, they actually have an app that actually follows people for them. Wow. I don't know what it's called, and I only found that out like a week ago. Where there's an app that helps them follow and weed out people for their Instagram that will follow people for them. They don't even know that they're being followed by some of these people. They have no idea. It's left up to the app that they use.
Dang.
I don't need it. I only have like 5,000 people. I don't care. That's it. If that's all I get from this point on, I'm okay.
Yeah. Only 5,000. I got 1,700.
Yeah, but look, and I remember like at some point you want more followers, but now I'm like, I don't want you to follow me. Just if you don't want to follow me, that's perfectly okay. 5,000 is enough for me. I'm lucky that I got this much, and I appreciate them all. But like, what am I going to do with 10,000 followers? What? I can't comment on everything that they show. You know what I'm saying? It's like eventually it's like you can't keep up with it, which is why they make that app.
I don't think I put out enough content for more than. I don't think I put out enough content for 1,700 followers, let alone anything close to 5.
But wait, I need to ask. So we have Green City in New York, but what is the equivalent of the California? I mean, I know you have the Untapped Festival, but that's not like really like, because I mean, Green City is held by Other Half. Is there so many?
Yeah, we don't that I know of. We don't have any of that. There's Stone has a big one that's out here. Yearly, but that's the only one that I know of. Like I don't see like North Park doing anything like that, or Pure Project. They do small things, but they haven't done anything big like this. I think they all take advantage of these little beer fests instead of throwing their own big one. But Stone obviously is huge, so they do their own thing.
Right.
I think I maybe see more of it. I think people are apt to literally go to a beer fest almost every month here, and it gets old, because they're literally the same thing over and over and over again. So not only do they have beer fests, they also have taco fests and wine fests and whatever other thing they can fest out. So it's very like commercialized out here. It's kind of like,
I'm sorry, did I hear Taco Fest?
Taco Fest, yeah.
Are you serious? Mm-hmm. That's a thing?
Taco Fest.
Why do we have that?
Fest, burgers. Yeah, they have a burger one.
I've never heard of that in my life. I mean, that's a reason for me to get on a plane.
In San Diego, because especially in San Diego, but in your mind you would think like, oh, there's like hundreds of taco vendors and stuff like that. Like, really what they do is they take advantage of the fact that San Diego has a lot of people that want to go out and do stuff. They'll buy a ticket to anything, any kind of fest out here. And then they get a park and they close it in, get everybody in there, give them all like unlimited something, and then that's that. So it's kind of like, I've been to a wine fest out here before, which was a shit show. Like, literally everybody was wasted. There's always a ton of ambulance. My dog just bit me. Sorry, she like attacked me. There's like ambulances and like tons of people always getting dragged out of there because they're too drunk. But it's like right on the waterfront, right downtown. I don't know. Hard to get an Uber when you leave because everybody's leaving at the same time, and it's, I don't know.
Sam, would you
for Uber?
It's not. Huh?
I was saying, thank God for Uber. I'm serious, man.
Yeah, but it is good here because we have also, the trolley. We have a really good public system like New York. Like, we have a lot of buses and the trolley and the train and stuff. So it's cool.
Sam, would you travel to go to or attend something like this?
Yes. I don't know about, I did tell Rich, like, next year I'm going to Green City with you. I don't know if I would pick to go to Green City specifically, maybe Pastry Town instead, or maybe the Brewers Guild instead. I want to be able to taste good beers, not just whatever they feel like getting rid of. That's my thing. And I don't like events that get super shitty. People get really, really, really sloppy. And from a lot of the stuff that I've been hearing about Green City, there was a lot of really, really drunk people there.
But it's almost impossible to not have that, though. It's literally, you're going to have at least 10% of the people that are going to this bummed. Easily. I kind of was.
Anybody dragged out or anything like that? Did you guys see anybody like dragged out or like?
No, because I was paying attention to my own shit. I want to make sure that I handle my own stuff, man. Because I remember I don't remember Pastry Town actually, because I got really fucking bombed. I got really shit faced up here.
It's a lot of high alcohol drinks.
Yeah, but nobody can tell because like I kind of handle my shit. But it's just like the next day, I'm like, did I say anything wrong? Did I do? I need to go back to my DMs and make sure I didn't say something to somebody like when I got home and say some fucked up shit,
Yeah, and I think they're shorter out here too. Like, I think that those might have been longer, more hours. Here. Untapped was split into 2 sessions on one day, so you weren't there from open to end. Like, literally, you had a limited time to drink and then get out, and then the next session came in. So they do limit that. Honestly, I want to go where you guys want to go. I want to go to Florida, go to Wake Fest or whatever to me, in my mind, Green City is ideal because for one, I do like Other Half, but it's New York and it's you guys. So it's kind of like my home state. I like going back home.
It's a win-win.
And yeah. So if you were like, there's a festival in Arizona and none of you were going to go, I don't care how great it is, probably wouldn't go.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna go by myself. Yeah.
But I definitely think the brewery group should definitely consider going to an out of state event when one comes into play. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not going to take a shit on events, just this one, because all the other events that I've been to have been actually really good.
Right.
I've enjoyed them. The camaraderie's there. You have your friends there. You have people that you normally wouldn't meet through a scram physically there. This one just happened to have been not a very good one. Going back to the Brewers Guild, that was actually a really good event. And
The only thing that sucked about the Brewers Guild was it was cold. We were in that warehouse and we were fucking.
And they opened the damn fucking what? I don't understand. Like, did somebody fart? Like they had to open the damn door? like what happened there?
That was the only thing that sucked about it. But
it's fucking freezing cold, and you open the damn door, man. Like, come on, shut the door. It doesn't smell that bad in here. I can tolerate it, But that was a good event. Ricky and I went to this first annual Mayfest. That wasn't bad. I mean, as 7 out of 15 brewers showed up, but the ones that we wanted showed up. That's the thing.
That was the plus right there.
Yeah. But typically when Ricky and I do our thing, we make a day out of it. So we just travel around and try to do what we can. But it would be nice if we get the brewery group together and go to an event that's out of state and try out what they have going on in their state. That would be a cool little trip.
I think we've all been looking at Florida in the springtime and maybe going to do there.
Yeah, because we haven't gotten together in a minute. I mean, like last time was Asheville. It'd be great
January.
It'd be great to see everybody under the same roof. I want locks on my door this time. I definitely want locks on, and I don't want Rich grinding on my face as I'm sleeping.
Airbnbs don't put locks on the doors. I don't know why.
Really?
Like a thing. Yeah.
No.
Because when we went to Colorado, there were no locks on the doors either.
The hell's that about?
Not even the bathroom door. That kind of was like.
Oh no! See, I'm gonna have to bring that. They sell that little angled slot thing where you shove it in the door. And open it too much, the alarm goes off. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to invest in one of those. Just for Rich.
Take it with
just for Rich. I'm gonna call it the Rich lock.
I just love everybody. I just want to
That's all right, man. How is it not? It's impossible to not love you, Rich. It really is. It's impossible.
So I'll say, overall, Green City was, to me, I enjoyed it. But I enjoyed it more because the company. I love being up there and hanging out with you guys and seeing different people and meeting people, and it's always. Especially for me being fairly new in craft beer, I keep saying I'm new in craft beer, but as the years have gone by, I can't really say that anymore. But to go to a place and be recognized by some of the brewers or the people that are there because we've been to their brewery numerous times is a pretty cool feeling,
Yeah.
So, that part I really enjoyed. It was a little disappointing to go to some of the spots, not to call out Harlan. I love Harlan beer, but one of the beers they had that they were serving was their rice lager that you get all the time. I've had it numerous times. It's a great beer, but I wanted something different. I wanted something new. So
I mean, you would think that they would take the opportunity to showcase something that's fucking solid, that it's balls deep. This is amazing stuff, and we paid all this money for that ticket. Give it to us. Don't give me the shit that I can get at the store or at the fucking local restaurant. That ain't right, man. Come on.
Yeah. But overall, like I said, I enjoyed it mostly for the company. Mostly for the company. I didn't have any beer that blew my socks off from anywhere. I did try some new breweries. I never had Toppling Goliath. They had an awesome sour that was phenomenal. Like I said, Commonwealth Brewing was really, really good.
Yes.
There were quite
Commonwealth.
Burnish was good. Like I said, that new brewery, they started just in October of last year. They haven't been around very long. Out of Salisbury, Maryland. So there were quite a few, but overall I had a good time. I had a good time, but I wasn't Green City is the best I've ever been. I mean, no, it's not.
Yeah, no, I had a good time too, but I just didn't like the whole average beer. And I guess this is the snob part of me where I've had really good beer. We've all had really good beer now. Everything else is just coming like, you know, secondary. It's subsequent beer now.
Yeah.
And there were
It
some
does
beers that
kind
were
of
like,
ruin it for you a little bit because you're like, shit, this I want to like this, but it's not that great.
you know, and I remember I told Ricky, I'm like, this is just like liquid malt. It's just like, it was so malty. It was just like, what happened? Like, and this guy was so enthusiastic. He's like, yeah, let me put this in your cup. I'm like, all right, great. Oh, dude, just what the fucking, why are you so happy about this, dude? Did you try everybody else's beer? Did you go around and try everybody else's beer compared to yours? It's not that good, man. I don't want to mention who it was. No, I'm not going to mention who it was. No, I'm not gonna, but it was just not good, you know.
That coffee porter was pretty good, right?
The one that we got from the decanter.
Yeah.
Yes, the roasted porter. Yeah, it was a roasted porter. It was really, really tasty. That was probably the best beer out of the bunch. That was the free. You know, that was probably the best one.
That I really like too.
What's
Can't
up?
remember from, but I tasted a pastry stout that was fucking delicious.
Oh no, it was the one from KCBC.
Oh yeah. KCBC,
Yeah, so we just happened to be right there. Christian, me and Christian were right there at KCBC, and he said that he was waiting for them. They were doing a 2:00 bottle opening, and they opened it like 5 minutes early, and we tried it. It was solid. It was really, really good. I actually got a second pour of it, and I got Ricky right there because he was standing right there talking to some people who recognized him, and then he came over and got some. Like that was a really good one. And then there was that sour, what was it? That sour fermented, is it like a farmhouse from Fifth Hammer that Kuzme opened for us?
Oh yeah, that was the continuation of those bottles that we had last time you were here. Remember
Okay.
we went to the brewery? Remember we had the 2 bottles? That was like the 3rd or 4th one.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that like just being in Brooklyn in general is an awesome place for beer drinkers to really go out. And so, yeah, you have the festival, but you are in Brooklyn too. So if you take advantage of being there and being able to go around and try the breweries that are there, that's also a good opportunity.
Yeah.
Brooklyn is kind of an awesome place.
It is a banging place. I will say this though, my preference, as far as like we all went to a Finback, that I'm almost at the point where I'm like, these brewers are getting kind of like Hollywood. That Finback brewery that we went to was kind of Hollywood. It was all decked out. It was huge. I like the smaller tap room that Ricky originally brought me to back in the day. This is like 3 years ago.
What?
Remember?
Oh, you brought me to that one too, right, Ricky?
Right. It's in the middle of the neighborhood.
Yeah. Finback Queens.
I dig that. I don't dig this whole elaborate, let me showcase and be all flat. No, that's not what it's about. It's about what the quality of the beer is. I don't give a shit about how flashy it is, how many people you could stuff in a fucking room. It doesn't matter because most of those people, they're just there to hang out with their friends. But for the most craft beer heads, we don't mind that small, like Other Half, like the original Other Half in Brooklyn, which is like a closet. People go there because the beer is fucking good. That's it. It doesn't have to be flashy. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It's just a room with great beer, and people just go there for that. So
I mean, Monkish is like that in LA. It's small as hell. And
Right,
like
and
there's nowhere to sit, and
Right.
that's that.
it doesn't have to be a huge, elaborate, beautiful room with lots of lights and like your name brand is all lit up and like flash. No,
You wouldn't
beer-
like San
good
Diego.
beer's gonna sell itself.
because San Diego is very bougie like that. Like a lot of the breweries look really like, especially Pure Project. They go all out.
Really?
With all their tap rooms look really, really nice, but they're not huge, but they look very nice. And they back it up with the beer though. I can't really.
Well, that's the
Not
thing. If
too
you're
hard.
gonna back it up with the beer, that's fine. And like the Finback, Finback beer it's good beer. They make good beer, but I didn't think they needed like 2 levels of it just didn't make any sense, man. I mean, it was a nice place, but the beer, if the beer is good and qualitative, people are gonna come eat. Like when we went to Fermentary, that's in an alleyway. When you think they're selling crack rocks at the very end of the friggin' it's a dungeon like tap room. It's the worst looking place ever, but the beer is fantastic. So they don't need any of that glitz and glam.
Mm-hmm.
They make good beer and that's what they sell, and that's what bring people there. People are going to walk through the rubble and that dilapidated. It looks almost like it was war torn, and people are buying it.
And
it's
standing
open
around
1 day a
kegs.
week. 1 day a week, and they sell their shit.
Yeah, and they're standing around kegs with wood burning inside them just to stay warm.
Right. They're oil drums with like just like oak burning in it. So I appreciated that because I know the thing is the beer, it stands on its own. People will go there, even though it's a shit show. It's a shit show of a location. That's all you need. That's all you need.
Agreed.
Sell good beer and people are going to come to it. That's all there is to it. That's it.
That's true.
You know,
This is true. But like I said, I think at the end of the day, got to meet a bunch of people, drink some beer, hung out with you guys. That's all it's about.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, really, the reality of it for me was more about hanging out with my buddies, hanging out with people that I really care about and that I really love and I enjoy my time with, and meeting the people that I normally talk to, like Instagram people, but never have met. The beer was a subsequent, bonus. That was it.
Hell yeah. Who's ready for the next one?
Listen, I'd rather go to like a smaller local place than to do a giant like fucking. I don't know what the next one is. I have no idea. I have to look at my Discovery, Beer Covery.
I think there's a beer fest in Cold Spring coming up, which is right up the road here. So
Wait, did you get Beer Covery yet, Ricky? Or you couldn't get it on your?
They don't have it for Android.
All right. All right. So who are you? Who has iPhone?
I do.
Do you have Beer Covery?
I will now.
I don't know if you could see this little icon, the little blue one next to my Netflix.
Okay.
It's called Beer Covery, and it tells you all the releases, all the events, everything that's going on in your area.
There's also a Facebook page for just beer festivals. I'll find it and then we can.
Yeah, hit me up.
I can share it with you guys. I'll maybe tag it in the post when we post this video.
That sounds good.
Beer Covery.
I don't really use Facebook like that.
Sponsor anybody?
No, I don't use Facebook for that either. I mean, like both Rich and I are in the same group, the Craft Beer Mafia, which Rich, I don't think you ever been on. You don't contribute to any of that, right?
I haven't, no.
That's all.
Is that on Facebook also?
Yeah, the Craft Beer Mafia,
Yeah.
I'm part of it. So is Rich. And the thing is, once you start contributing to their account, when you start, eventually they're going to be like, why haven't you contributed more? So I'm stuck between Instagram and Facebook to contribute more because they give you shit if I don't. To it. But it's a Chug page. That's it.
It's a Chug page.
Chug page, and talk about your beer and give it a rating if you like it.
Why you haven't shared it, Drunken Monkey? Why are you being all secretive with your beer mafia?
I haven't contributed to it yet, and I'm hardly ever on Facebook. So
listen, Monkey, just give her the passcode to your phone. That's it, man. That's it. my wife has my passcode. She can get into my phone
don't
anytime.
Want that. Definitely don't want that. I don't know. I don't need it.
Scared of what you see?
No.
Good answer.
And I will say this in respect to the Monkey, Ice Queen, you look glamorous today.
You
look glamorous today.
I had to showcase the pink hair.
I'm just letting
the
you know.
Hot girl summer hair.
Right. The Monkey's
all
got
I need
hot,
now is
got a hot girl.
I just need the Drunken Monkey now for my hot girl summer. He needs to bring back my bathing suit.
Hot girl summers are single. You don't know. No. Hot girl summers, hottie guy summers, they don't have people with them. They're single. They do the thing on their own. That's the whole point of it.
Well, he took my hot girl bathing suit anyway, so I can't really.
And he wore it well.
I'm gonna bring it to I'm going back to Florida next week. I'm gonna bring it again and do some more videos with it.
I remember
like I said, it's yours now.
And I remember I saw it at work and I couldn't comment because like my Wi-Fi was fucked up. But all I saw was just him walking around the other side, moose knuckle, all brandishing and shit, jumping in the water. I'm like, oh my god, this is comedy gold. This is fucking fantastic.
I think he got
I was laughed about 8 times when I kept watching. I'm like, this is beautiful. This is great.
I sent it to my mom. She loved it.
Oh my God. Oh, that's awesome, man. Just to know that like we're at that age where we could share this shit with our parents and like, this is what my boyfriend did to my wife. That's fucking great, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. So, all right. Final thoughts on the Green City this year.
It was a little disappointing what you got for VIP, hands down. You know, you just got to drink an hour earlier. There were no special beers. There was no special merch. But hanging out with my buddies, a couple good beers, you know, nothing that, you know, completely knocked my socks off, but decent beer, good friends, a dope ass location. Like I like Brooklyn. I enjoyed my time in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know, so I would have to go again with
Are you breaking it up into two portions, Ricky? What the
That was Ricky's warning level. He was like,
Shut
up.
My finger twitch, bro.
I would go again if I'm going with you guys. If I'm going alone, I'm not going.
Yeah, I mean, well, honestly, I have a tendency to do things on my own when I can because I just like to wander around and stuff. And I don't know if you guys noticed that I was just walking around aimlessly by myself, not to like just diss you people, but just like I had that mentality. Sometimes I had that mentality, but like, I just want to walk around and like not have to like worry about who's behind me or who's in front of me or whatever. But yeah, this event was lackluster in a lot of ways. The money that we paid. They could have easily have sold those tickets for like $60. It still made a good amount of money. And that for me would have been like the balance. $60 for that ticket to get all those beers and watch a bunch of idiot wrestlers. I don't want to watch wrestlers. What the fuck do I want? Why are they there? Why are the wrestlers there? For no reason. But I do love that I can hang out with some of the people that I'm cool with. You guys for sure. JJ is, as well. I mean, some of the Instagrammers. I mean, that's a plus in my opinion. Like that's an absolute bonus when I get to meet some of the people that we know through Instagram. But this event, it was a disappointment. And I don't think I'm not going to do a part 2 for this one. Next year they can keep their ticket and I'll keep my money.
I don't know, guys. I mean, I wish I could have kept track of how many people I met yesterday because it was fucking amazing. Thank you for everybody that came out and freaking said hi and shit.
There's a lot of people.
Said, like, if I don't remember your names, it's because I'm fucking bad with names. But there was a lot of people that came up, said what's up, and and I met, I went up to a few people, and I had a blast, dude. I enjoyed it. Obviously, I love hanging out with you guys. Sam, I wish you would have came. It would have been amazing.
Would have made you guys
I'm
nauseous
probably
too.
still gonna lie. I'm probably still gonna go. But
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. I'll still hang out. I'll still go next year. But hell yeah.
You go, Ricky. I'll go.
Straight. Me and Sam going next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Rich would be like, "You're going. I'm going."
So we definitely have to check out what the next event is going to be out of state, so that way we can all like get together and check the shit out, see what it's about, and then we can judge the shit out of it because we can do
That's what we do. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, if anybody recommends a show or a fest that we need to go to, as far as beer goes, then definitely put it in the comments. Let everybody know. Any other comments, guys? Pretty good.
No.
Yeah. As always, guys, fucking thank you for joining us. Please hit the subscribe button on the Instagram, on the YouTube. Make sure you follow everybody in the church. Wetness, we miss you today. We'll see you in the
wet one.
Happy Father's Day.
Cheers. Yeah, that's
Cheers.
what I had. We forgot to fucking do our.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.